What's up, guys? I finally bought a new car. And it's this. It's 2001 Pontiac Grand Prix GTP. We're gonna check it out today. So I bought this car. I'm pretty sure I've had it 2 weeks now at this point. I have not driven it very much for reasons that I will discuss in a second. Overall, it is in very good shape, and I'm very happy with it. It's one of the only used cars I've ever bought where the paint is actually worth maintaining, and that is most likely because the car has been repainted, but it just looks really good. The hood, I believe, is off of a 40th anniversary, and I know for sure that the trunk is off of a 40th anniversary. The regular GTPs don't have this spoiler, and this trunk is off of an 03, I believe. It's got aftermarket LED taillights, the oval exhaust tips, which I don't like, but I don't hate. I'd rather put these look really good with quad tips on them. These wheels, obviously they belong there. They belong on a Grand Prix, but I hate them. They're one of like 9 different wheel options you can get for this car, and I think they are the worst one. It has a sunroof that works. It has these roof rails, which stick up like this, and when I first saw this car, I thought that these were just like worn out by the sun and were lifting due to sitting in the sun, but no, they're actually supposed to be like that. And appearance-wise, it's definitely a really, really sharp car. It looks excellent. And the theme of excellence continues in the interior, and I'll show you that in just a second. Even though I titled this video, I bought probably the nicest 6th gen Grand Prix still left in existence. It's definitely imperfect, and the imperfections start with the interior. The seat is a little worn out. It's not too bad, it's just cracking. Maybe you could condition this or get it refinished, and I might do that. I might look into that. But it's not too bad. It's not ripped yet, and it's still comfortable. This steering wheel is not the steering wheel that came with the car, and we'll get to that. The dashboard is separated and lifting, but the dash overall is in pretty good shape, and it does have the heads-up display, which works, but you can't see it because there's windshields tinted. Moving on to the door panel here, it's missing this little black piece of trim here that goes across. And this window switch bezel is coming out. And those of you who know 6th gen Grand Prix, the clips that hold these in, they break. They break on every single one of them. Every single 6th gen Grand Prix in existence, this clip has broken. No matter if it's a 2-door or a 4-door, no matter how much it gets used, these things have broken. And I've ordered a whole new one of these pieces because the master switch is bad and this window won't go up. It's part of the reason why I haven't been driving this car. Let's see. We've got this aftermarket Boss Audio Systems head unit. I don't like this. I don't like the UI on this. There's not a screen that shows you what song information you have playing. And it's generally really clunky and terrible. And you can see they cut the dash bezel to fit it in there because this screen is just too big for this space. And I am not a fan of that, and I want to change this. But the problem with that is because they cut this dash bezel, there is a non-zero chance that they hacked up the wiring that's behind this. Speaking of screens, you got this multifunction display up here that tells you average economy, fuel used, your range, your oil life, And you can switch between English and metric. And then you got a reset button, and then you got your traction control on and off here. And then this whole bezel here is just devoted to the low traction button. And then these gauges are one of my least favorite things about the 6th Gen Grand Prix. I just hate how much empty space there is, and I hate how generic this cluster looks. Half circles generally aren't attractive, and there's just so much more room that they could have done stuff with. It's got fog lights that don't work because they need bulbs. Then you got your headlight controls. And one thing he did do with this head unit that I like is the steering wheel controls work. Got the mirror that has your compass and temperature. This temperature is a bit optimistic. It's definitely not 69 degrees outside. Nice. Dome lights, which in this car, I'm pretty sure all the dome lights are LED now. And then you got your sunroof control for the sunroof that works. Glove box, which has the title, emissions paperwork, and something else in there. And then you got your trunk lease in here. We'll go and check out the trunk real quick. And while we're at it, we can check out the back seat. Back seat in this car is in near perfect condition. It does have a little bit of the cracking that's going on in the front, but it's not too bad. The floor mats have plastic covers on them because the guy I bought this from was a mobile detailer. Not bad. Pretty good seats. Got this ginormous armrest here that's filthy. Ugh, I'm gonna have to clean that. It's gross. Alright, let's go check out the trunk now. So this keyhole does not work with the key that it has because this trunk lid is not from this car. And that's evident when you open the trunk and you can see that it is white on the outside and then burgundy on the inside, because I'm pretty sure all the 40th anniversaries were burgundy. And then in the trunk, you can see the previous owner left me all kinds of freaking goodies, including whatever the hell this is. This might be a subwoofer. But there is a steering wheel back here, and this is the steering wheel that actually came with the car. And he replaced it because this steering wheel was all torn up, which I'm down for. But it does mean the airbag light is on, but all I have to do is take this airbag and put it in that steering wheel. And then there's all kinds of other crap in here, like a copper bowl, some tools, some brake pads in here, some automatic transmission fluid, various clothes. I am going to clean this out soon, but the trunk is ginormous. And these struts are bad for sure. Alrighty, and now all I have to do is check out the engine and look at the hilarity that's under there. Those of you who know these cars already know what you're about to see under here. The hood struts do work. It's got the L67 3.8 liter supercharged V6. Overall, it's in very good shape. This battery is only a few years old. See, these coils are all different. I don't know why. The supercharger right there. It still has the cover. It's not missing the cover. You can see the transmission. I don't know if the transmission's been replaced, but it's really, really clean. And this is absolutely hilarious. This is his cold air intake. And when I opened the hood and checked this out originally, this cone filter just fell off. And then as he was fumbling around trying to put it back on, he was like, oh yeah, that's your cold air intake. That adds 20 horsepower. It's literally just a piece of PVC pipe and a cone filter. It's ridiculous. I want to put an actual cold air intake on this. I'm sure ZZP sells an actual cold air intake that you can put on this, because this is just stupid. This is a horsepower deficit, if anything. The only good thing that this does is it makes it so you can hear the supercharger, which, and we will get into that, because all we have to do now is go drive this thing. So I will catch it back up with you guys in a second. Alrighty, we're driving my Grand Prix. We won't be gone very long, because this window won't go up. It's cold today, and this thing does not have a plate on it, so I don't want to take it on the main roads. But the main takeaways from this car are the engine and transmission are very happy, and the supercharger is very happy. When it warms up, I'll let you hear the supercharger. You may be able to notice that the airbag light is on. It's because it's on, because of that airbag thing I was telling you about earlier. I guess there's really not much to say about it, because it just drives well. It just works. The temperature is really happy. I filled it up with gas like a week ago, which shows how much I haven't driven it, because it still has almost a full tank. The headlights aren't really good, because one of them fell into the engine bay, and I have to go digging for it. I'm assuming one of the little tabs that holds the headlight onto the car is broken and it fell into the engine bay. It rides really well. Drove it back on the highway. It was super nice, because I bought this thing in downtown Atlanta and I drove it back to where I live in Kennesaw, and it was super nice on the highway. It's lovely. It does have new tires on it, and the previous owner did put tire shine on those new tires. They're cheap tires, but they're new tires, so what are you gonna do? These things are known for having glass transmissions, and this one, the previous owner says that he maintained it really well, and I believe him. The transmission makes his case. It feels excellent. The previous owner of this car definitely, he didn't come off as very intelligent, by things like the ridiculous cold air intake that he put on there and other stuff. But he said that he maintained the car, and I do believe him, because the car runs and drives like it has been maintained well, and the brakes are good as well. And we'll just loop around this roundabout and then head back. So one thing about this car that I am excited about, especially coming from my shitbox, is that it is quick. It freaking goes. And now I can give you a taste of the supercharger. Foot hard down. There it is. It scoots. It's quick. Jesus. Very fast car. 0 to 60 is probably in the mid-high 6s range, which for me is fast. I'm not used to that fast, because my Honda does 0 to 60 in 12 seconds. So this is performance that I'm not used to, and by modern standards, this car isn't even fast. But to me, this thing is quick, and it has a lot of power. At any moment, no matter what, you give it gas and it just goes. There's just grunt. It's got torque for days. It's lovely. And the steering is actually pretty great as well. I've driven naturally aspirated Grand Prix GTs, and they had light, floaty ass steering. And this doesn't. This has good, tight well-weighted steering, and it's absolutely lovely. So that's my Grand Prix. I'm not sure what my plans are for it. I'm definitely going to fix it and make it nice. You know, I'm definitely going to fix things like this window switch and the window, and get rid of this crappy head unit, and probably buy a new bezel for it, because they cut the bezel for no reason. And then I'm probably just going to drive it and enjoy it. I'm excited to get a plate on it. That's actually what I'm going to go do today. I'm taking my shit box, go do that today, and get a plate for it. So let me know if you guys want to see more of this car on the channel. It'll definitely be in the cold start videos and whatnot, and I will definitely do a full review on it. And until then, thank you for watching, guys. Take care.